Sigiriy may have been inhabited in prehistoric times. The cave monasteries, with their rock caves dedicated to Buddhist monks after being prepared by the devotees, have been in use since the 5th century BC. The gardens and palace were built by King Kassapa. After Kassapa's death, it remained a monastery complex until the 14th century, when it fell into disrepair. The ruins were discovered by a British explorer named John Still. The inscriptions at Sigiriy were read by archaeologist Sinarath Paranavathana and published in 2 volumes by Oxford University under the title Sigiriy Inscriptions. Paranavathana himself also wrote a book called Story of Sigiriy. The origin of Sigiriy. The Mahavamsa, an ancient historical chronicle of Sri Lanka, describes Kashyapa as the son of King Dudasana. Kashyapa tied his father Dudasana to a wall and killed him, usurping the throne from his brother Mogallana. Mogallana was the daughter of the king's chief queen. Mogallana fled to India, fearing that he would be killed by his brother Kashyapa. He vowed to avenge Kashyapa. He organized an army from India with the intention of returning to Sri Lanka and reclaiming the throne for himself. Kashyapa, believing that Mogallana's return was certain, chose Sigiriy as a fortress and built a palace on its top. Mogallana returned and declared war. While the battle was going on, Kashyapa left Kasyurapa's army alone. Kasyurapa fell on his sword and committed suicide. According to legends and folklore, the story goes like this: when Kasyurapa led his war elephant to another place to find a suitable place to fight, his army mistook him for a defeat and retreat. His army then completely abandoned Kasyurapa and fled. Mogallana chose Anuradhapura as his capital. Sigiriy became a monastery complex. Other stories say that King Dudasana was the original builder of Sigiriy and that Kashyapa completed the work in memory of his father. Another story says that King Kashyapa was a pleasure seeker and that Sigiriy was built as a pleasure palace. Information about Kashyapa's final fate is uncertain. Some legends say that he was poisoned by one of Kashyapa's mistresses. Another story says that Kashyapa committed suicide by cutting his own throat with his sword when he was left alone by his army in his final battle. There are further interpretations that the construction of Sigiriy was the work of the Buddhist community and that there was no military participation in it. It is also said that the Sigiriy complex played an important role in the competition between the Mahayana and Theravada sects in ancient Sri Lanka. This